Here we go with 7.2 part 12. Nec parum. Nec means a negative thing, so neither is it parum, leastly, prudenta, wise, so neither is it leastly wise, so because that's two negatives cancelling out, so it was wise. What Anaxagoras was his name? Anaxagoras, to a certain person, a quidam, who was interroganti, so it's dative, to the interrogating certain person. Here's a question, because we have quiz with nam, which is emphatic for a question. For who is Beatus? Who's blessed or happy? And he said, Nemo. Isn't Nemo a fish anyway? No one from those, quas who you think, Felikis, which is another word for happy or lucky. So both of these are similes. But him, you will find in that number, illo numero, who by you is credited, by who is thought to constare ex miseries, to have been built upon or to be consistent or made up from wretched things or from misery or something like that. So the blessed person is someone who you believe to be consisting of wretched things. Non erit illi. He will not be in the riches, in the divity he has, and in the honours, in the offices of political things. So he will not be abundant in this. He will not be abundant in the riches and the honours, but either of an exiguous rurus, it's like a countryside estate, exiguous usually means small, of a small estate, or non-ambitiosus, or not of ambitiosus doctrine, so it's unpretentious or something like that. He'll be a fidelis, loyal and pertinax, like someone who's persistent or steadfast cultor. So cultivator, you might want to say. Who is Betior, which is he's more happier in the recessu than in the front. So he might be hiding out in the back, out of the way, than be in the spotlight. Part 13. Demodus, also sapiens, also wise. He's got a dictum, it's a saying or a word. For to the nolentibus Athenian buses, to the Athenians when they were not wanting to decide or to give, you might want to say, divine honours to Alexander, because that's a dative of to him. Alexander the Great, I'm guessing. This guy, whoever he is, Demadatus, he inquired, he said, plural imperative, videt, see to it, lest while you are custodying heaven, while you are guarding heaven, what we got here, it's hidden there, you will lose the terram, you will lose earth, okay? Part 14. Poro, something like furthermore. How subtiler, how subtle, what's his name? Anarchases. We've got a verb here, comparabat. Sometimes it means procure. I think here it's just like in English. He compared laws of the state, to the teleses. These are webs of arachnids, which are spiders. For, as it retains the infirmia animals, the weaker or smaller animals. So I'm guessing a web as it retains a small, as they retain the small animals. The valientora, the more stronger, transmitteria. So mito and trans there. So like a cobweb, the small animals will be retained and the stronger will go through. So here we have ut nita, uta. So thus, in these, the humiles, the lowly and poor people, and there's paupers also meaning pauper, so people of humble origin, you might say, and the paupers are constringi, they're caught in the laws, as in like a net, and the divites and the praepontes, these people who are very strong in front, those prae usually means in front, so the rich and the strong people in the society are not oligaried, they're not caught or tied. 15. Nihil etiam. Nothing even is more wiser, that looks like a comparative, sapentius, than this facto, which is a deed of, who's this, Agosilia, another Greek, I'm guessing, si quidem, if indeed or sense, when adverse the republic, against the republic, you want to say, he conperissit, so he discovered a conspirationem of Lacedaemonians, these are the Spartans, had arisen at autumn, a conspiracy had arisen by noctu in the night, And he abrogated, with this adverb continuo, which means immediately, the lex Lycurgus, the laws of Lycurgus. I think I've heard of him, which vetoed to be consumed, to be taken up, any supplementary punishment concerning people who have not been condemned, in indemnitatis to people. Moreover, comprehensist and interfectusing, so he captured and having killed the Sontibus people, they're the guilty, he restored e vestigo from their tracks where they were, the laws as they were, where he left them off, and same time, he provided, pro usually means in front, so we saw an advance, utrumque, of both sides. Not the animadversio, it's not the noticing version here, this is the punishment. So not the salutary punishments or injustices, or would be impeded by law. So these are the two things, the salutary punishments or unjust and some things impeded by law. Okay, so he's abrogated them, captured the people and killed them, and then restored, if you look at the verbs. Itiqui, and so that always these laws are able to be possent, aliquando, sometimes they non fuerant. Okay, so salutary punishment, lest it be either by injustice or by law impeded, he did those things we talked about. So that always the laws could be, sometimes he had to abolish it so that the law could exist afterwards. Yep, there we go. 16. Sed nescioan, but I don't know whether, or concilium, the plan of most excellent wise Hanno. Okay, and then this is what he doesn't know. For with Margot nuntianting, announcing the exitum, the outcome of the Canensius Pugnae, of the Battle of Canensis, to the Senatui Ponorum, to the Senate of the Carthaginians, and in such success, fidem is the trustworthiness of the success, you might want to say, golden annuloses, golden rings, should be a space there, fundente, being poured out, explenting, filling up, trium modiorum mensurums, the measurements of 3 pecks of gold, or bags, however they measure them, of those who interfectus nostris, who had been, so these rings have been detracted from our citizens who were dead, been killed. He quaesvided, he sought, he asked, and whether aliquis anyone, socorium, of our allies, post tantum cladem, after such a slaughter, had defected from the Romans, and as he ordered, as he heard that neminem, no one to have transisted, no one had crossed over to Hannibal after this, he persuaded them, protonus, immediately for legates to go to Rome, through which would carry out de pace concerning peace. He mitteretunt, he sent them. Curious C, of which if this sentiment, this opinion had valuited, prevailed, neither in a second Punic bellow would Carthago have been evicted, have been beaten, and neither in a third would it have been deleted, destroyed. You should know the phrase Carthago est delendo, comes from that verb there. 17. Ne quidem, not even the Samnites, plugged in the middle there, they paid out, they perpenderanted small punishment, or paid a small price for a consimilar error. Similar error in that they neglected the salutare concilium, that's a neuter, which takes the E, and male and female take IS. So the health-bringing or beneficial plan of Irenae Pontius, I'm guessing his name is. Okay, so Daily Dictionary. Salutaris, healthful, useful, advantageous. You can tell from the salute bit, it's going to be healthful. and there's the neuter variant of it, singular, and then in plural it's got the IA function there. Okay, where were we? Who, by the authority, or in authority and prudentia, another wisdom word, he was praise stands, he was excelling the keteros, the rest of the people. By the army and the general of his, which was his son, he was consultist, he was asked. Here we got another question with quiz nam's that emphatic bit of question. What to be done concerning Roman legions amongst the Forks, Cordinus, so that must be a name, maybe that's a capital. What ought to be done? And they are inclusus, they're shut in. The Roman legions are shut in at this place, these Forks. He responded, they should be dimittendus, they should be set free in volitas, not violated or unharmed. Postero die, on the next day, the same thing, eadem, concerning the same thing, day, eadem, re, concerning the same matter he was interrogast. And he dixited, he said, they ought to be deleted, they ought to be destroyed. So he's asked and he said they should be set free unharmed. The next day he said they ought to be destroyed. So that either the gratia, the thankfulness, can be emirated, should be bought of the enemy. So the thanks of the enemy can be bought with maximum beneficialness or goodwill or whatever. Or that they would be confringated, they would be shattered, broken apart by the iactura, which is the loss gravissima, most heavily, of their strength or their man. Said improvidusa but the unforeseen rashness of these victors, while spurning the utilitas, the usefulness of both sides, or both options, they misas sub jugum. They sent these legions, I'm guessing, under the yoke, which is a sign of subjugation, into their own destruction, their own pernicum, and it sent them burning. So it sort of backfired maybe.